Hello and welcome to our video on Pedagogy of the Oppressed, a book that has had a significant impact on education, politics, and social change. Written by Brazilian educator and philosopher Paulo Freire in 1968, this book offers a revolutionary approach to education that challenges the traditional teacher-student relationship and promotes critical consciousness and social action. In this video, we'll provide an overview of the book, analyze its key themes and ideas, discuss its significance, and invite you to join the ongoing conversation around it. Background. Before we dive into the book, let's provide some background on its author and context. Paulo Freire was born in 1921 in Recife, Brazil, and grew up in a working-class family. He was educated as a lawyer but soon became interested in education and social justice. In the 1950s, he worked as a literacy educator in Brazil, developing his approach to education that would later be articulated in Pedagogy of the Oppressed. The book was written in the context of the 1960s, a time of political and social upheaval in Latin America and around the world, with movements for civil rights, decolonization, and anti-imperialism challenging existing power structures. Summary. Now let's turn to the book itself. Pedagogy of the Oppressed is divided into 4 chapters, each of which offers a different perspective on the relationship between education and liberation. In the first chapter, Freire introduces the concept of banking education, a traditional approach to teaching in which the teacher deposits knowledge into the students' minds, treating them as passive receptacles rather than active participants. This approach perpetuates oppression by maintaining the status quo and reinforcing the dominant culture's values and interests. In the second chapter, Freire argues that true education must be a dialogical process in which teachers and students learn from each other and work together to develop critical consciousness. Critical consciousness involves a recognition of one's own oppression and the social structures that create and perpetuate it, as well as a commitment to social transformation. In the third chapter, Freire discusses the role of the oppressor and the oppressed in the educational process. He argues that the oppressor's goal is to maintain power and control over the oppressed, while the oppressed must strive to liberate themselves and their oppressors through dialogue and reflection. This liberation process requires a recognition of the oppressor's humanity and the potential for change, as well as a rejection of violence and dehumanization. In the fourth and final chapter, Freire explores the role of education in the struggle for liberation. He argues that education must be connected to concrete social and political action, rather than being an abstract or purely intellectual pursuit. This means that educators and students must engage in praxis, or reflection and action, to transform themselves and their society. Praxis involves a commitment to social justice and a rejection of individualism and apolitical education. Analysis. While Pedagogy of the Oppressed has been celebrated as a groundbreaking work, it is not without its criticisms. One of the most common critiques is that the book does not provide practical solutions or guidance for educators who want to implement Freire's ideas. Additionally, some argue that his emphasis on critical consciousness and praxis neglects the importance of knowledge and expertise. However, others see these criticisms as missing the point. Instead, they argue that Freire's book is a call to action, urging educators and activists to critically examine their practices and engage in the transformative process of praxis. Additionally, while some criticisms have been leveled at the abstract nature of the book, it can be argued that its very abstractness is a reflection of its purpose as a theoretical framework for social transformation. One of the most significant aspects of Pedagogy of the Oppressed is its impact on education and pedagogy. Freire's approach has influenced a range of educational movements, including critical pedagogy, popular education, and multicultural education. In critical pedagogy, educators aim to challenge the dominant culture's values and norms, which they argue are perpetuated through traditional education. This approach emphasizes the importance of dialogue, reflection, and praxis in the educational process, in order to empower students to become agents of social change. Popular education, which emerged in Latin America in the 1960s and 1970s, seeks to empower marginalized communities through participatory and collaborative educational methods. Multicultural education, which emerged in the United States in the 1970s, aims to promote cultural diversity and challenge social inequalities through education. Freire's approach has also had a significant impact on broader social and political movements. In Latin America, his ideas have been applied to popular education and literacy campaigns that seek to empower marginalized communities. In the United States, his approach has influenced anti-racist and anti-imperialist movements, as well as critical pedagogy and multicultural education. More broadly, Freire's emphasis on dialogue, critical consciousness, and praxis offers a powerful framework for those seeking to challenge and transform the structures of oppression that limit our collective potential. Significance. The significance of Pedagogy of the Oppressed lies in its contribution to the ongoing struggle for social justice and liberation. Paulo Freire's approach challenges traditional educational practices that maintain the status quo and perpetuate oppression, offering instead a vision of education that empowers individuals to challenge and transform the structures of oppression that limit their potential. The book is particularly significant in the context of Latin America in the 1960s and 1970s, where authoritarian regimes had taken hold and people were struggling for democracy and freedom. Freire's ideas offered a new approach to education that could help people develop critical consciousness, analyze their social reality, and take action to transform it. As such, his ideas had a powerful impact on movements for social justice and liberation in the region, and continue to inspire activists and educators today. In addition to its impact on education, Pedagogy of the Oppressed has also been influential in broader social and political movements. For example, his ideas have been taken up by anti-racist and anti-imperialist movements in the United States and around the world. The book's emphasis on dialogue, critical consciousness, and praxis offers a powerful framework for those seeking to challenge and transform the structures of oppression that limit our collective potential. Freire's approach is also significant in its emphasis on praxis, or the integration of reflection and action. This approach recognizes the importance of both critical reflection on the social structures that create and perpetuate oppression, and the need for collective action to transform these structures. In this way, Freire's approach offers a powerful framework for those seeking to challenge and transform the status quo, both in education and in broader social and political movements. Finally, the significance of Pedagogy of the Oppressed lies in its continued relevance and influence today. The book continues to inspire educators and activists around the world to take up the mantle of social justice and liberation. In particular, his ideas on critical consciousness, praxis, and the need to challenge the status quo remain relevant in a world where inequality, oppression, and injustice continue to limit the potential of individuals and communities. Conclusion. In conclusion, Pedagogy of the Oppressed is a book that challenges traditional approaches to education and offers a powerful vision of education as a tool for social transformation. Paulo Freire's ideas have had a profound impact on education, politics, and social change around the world. While his approach is not without its critics, his emphasis on critical consciousness, praxis, and social justice continues to inspire educators and activists today. Thank you for watching this video on Pedagogy of the Oppressed. We hope that you have gained a deeper understanding of the book's key themes and ideas, as well as its significance in education, politics, and social change. We encourage you to read the book for yourself and to join the ongoing conversation around Freire's approach to education and liberation. If you found this video insightful and engaging, we invite you to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel for more content like this. We are committed to providing informative and thought-provoking videos. Thank you for your support.